What's happening, guys? Tuesday the 17th. I hope you used your time valuably that you had. If you got yesterday off with the holiday, there's many of you that did not, right? But there's many that did. So myself, I didn't really. I just used to catch up on a few things. In reality, didn't really do much. Wife, of course, has a lot of shifts that she's working. It's interesting how the days I'm not working, she is. The days that I am working, she's not, especially when I'm traveling. So, it's kind of interesting the way our schedule works. I travel, she's off. I'm back, she's on. So that's something to deal with, right? It's just life. But I did, got back from Alabama, got to spend Saturday evening with a good friend of mine. Some of you may know this. It's not something I talk about much anymore, but I used to do technical rescue for the Sheriff's Department for almost 10 years. I retired from that in 2018. It's something I did in conjunction with what I'm doing now. So page would go off, I'd suit up, head out, and just take on whatever the situation was, whatever the rescue scenario was in the mountains. And in this particular one, is we headed out to base camp. If you ever watched Jerry Maguire, where you have the scene where Rod Tidwell was potentially going to do the commercial on the camel, that's where we would stage. We'd stage right there, and then that whole mountain in the background that showed there's several spots there where I conducted rescues. And this particular one, it was Leap Day 2012. So coming up on 11 years ago next month, I got called, showed up. There's a helicopter waiting for me. They loaded me. They got me to the top. We set up anchors. I went down, took a long time to get down to him. It was a 680-foot cliff, if I remember correctly, and he was about between 120 and 150 feet off the ground. So I had to go down, nearly 500, but actually a little over 500 feet to get down to him, get him rigged in and take him down and then get him out. And we had a team come up. My wife was part of that team, come up and treat him medically if he needed it and get him out. Very interesting, the relationship you develop with people when you're helping them. Now, this was international news coverage. I had to hunt. I found one news story with any footage left out there in cyberspace. All the news stations have taken it down that I can tell. I have a CD that has all of it, but everybody's forgotten about that. If you search a base jumper rescue in the Superstition Mountains in Arizona, you're going to get a very recent one. You're not going to get that one. I had to do some heavy keyword searching just to get the one story. And so kind of the reason I bring that up, guys, the world's going to forget the good shit you do. They're going to forget all about that, right? But it's the relationships that you build that's going to make the most difference. So when you do things for others, that connects you. Now, you got to foster that connection. He lives in Washington now. He's up in Spokane. When he comes into town, because he trains military on basically parachutes and jumps and all that kind of stuff, and skydiving. And he, when he comes to town, he reaches out to me. We don't see each other that often, but when we do, it's an amazing reunion. So maintain your relationships. When people take care of you, you take care of others. Foster that relationship. Do what you can for everybody. The world's going to forget about it, man. It's not something you can ever just pat yourself on the back for forever, right? You can't. You always go out there and see the fruits of your labors. In a global way, right? It's going to be with the people that you've interacted with and the people you've made that impact with. So that was just a little bit of a story. Figure I'd throw it to you guys. Charts. Let's get into this. We just had a holiday yesterday, so in reality, there's not much difference from where we were yesterday. But we can see that there's been some movement that would have been fairly negative, but it did rebound. So. All right, so a little bit of a jump cut there. Hopefully my guys will fix that. So here's what you got. We had the holiday yesterday. As you can see here, it's neutral. Nothing really happened. It stayed right where it closed previous day. And then today we opened up fairly negative. We hit right on moving averages as our support and bounced right up, and we're right back where we were yesterday. So in that neutral spot, if you will. We did have a little bit better position earlier in the week, but it was really nothing that we really saw as far as a massive improvement as far as the rates are concerned. We're pretty much the same as where we've been since the 9th, all the way across is what it looks like here. So let's just see how this all plays out. Hopefully it looks like we're going to stay in this little channel going on. I do have a video that goes more into greater depth about these particular charts and how the charts work. I'll pop that link up here so you guys can go to that and watch that. We're going to have that constantly popping in here for you to be able to go that and understand the charts if you want to. So outside of that, we'll just see how the days play out. We got more inflation data is going to keep getting released, and that's of course going to be something that pushes these around quite a bit, because inflation does probably have the biggest influence over the mortgage-backed securities, since it's a long-term instrument. It's going to be paid back over a long period of time with a deflating instrument like the US dollar, because inflation is eroding it. So thanks, guys. Appreciate you listening. Appreciate you subscribing. Go to the website, aaron.chapman.com. Scroll down if you're interested in participating with us in our charge to help with the human trafficking issues we have in this world. Scroll down to the donate button. That'll take you right there to the campaign. Appreciate you.